with a tie for the points lead. We now have Eli Tomac firmly in the points lead with 215 points. Ken Roxon has 209 points. And Marvin Musquin has moved into third with 184 points in the 450 class. And that's after 5 rounds of outdoor national motocross. First question is for Marv. Marv, did you think after all the success you've had in the outdoor series that it would take you to round 5 to get your first moto win?
I mean, yeah, going into every weekend, the goal is to win, but competition is tough. I had a rough start, rode pretty good in Paula, but definitely been searching, you know, with the bike setup and stuff, and actually went back to what we knew, what worked last year, and when I had good races, and it worked out pretty good today. It definitely took a little while. I mean, 5th round, but like I said, the competition stuff, everybody's pretty healthy. You got Zach that moved up, and you got Jason that's back. Kenny's, you know, right there, and Eli is still here. So I mean, a lot of guys that are able to and capable of winning. So we'll finally, get a moto win. That was an awesome first moto, and get the overall and one of the toughest race of the season. So that's awesome.
Next question will be for Eli Tomac. Eli, Moto 1 was very non-Eli Tomac-esque. What do you think happened in the first moto?
It was a combo of a few things. I mean, like 2 things. One was like horrible start. Like didn't go anywhere there. Just lit it up in the sand and went nowhere. So I was totally buried there. But my effort forward wasn't any good either. I was really struggling with pace. Made one small change, you know, on my last practice to going in the moto there, and it wasn't good at all. So, but it was totally on me there. I was just trying to like find, you know, the right feeling, and I didn't get it there. But the start was bad, so that was for that first one. It was no good.
Well, let's change it up. Second moto, tell us a bit about that, because that was a complete flip.
Yeah, you know, it was probably, I can't remember the last time I've had a whole shot like that. So, you know, we bar to bar there going through the first turn, and it was just much better. It was, you know, riding the bumps a lot better that time. Was lighter on the bike, just getting over stuff. You know, it was more me.
Zach Osborne, last year, 250 rider. This year, you're a full-time 450. I know that you've been a little bit banged up through the Supercross, but you're back. What's the transition been like for you to be a full-time 450 rider now?
It's been heavy. I mean, the workload's not light, and the class is stacked. You know, in the 250 class, I'm struggling a little bit right now with the pace in the beginning. You know, I was okay to ride 10 or 15 minutes in 3rd or 4th and then make a charge, but with these guys, you can't give them anything. So the first 3 laps are killing me right now, and that's a little bit of an old habit, and old habits die hard. So that's the biggest thing I need to work on. But as far as the transition goes, it's been pretty smooth considering. My Rockstar and Geospire Factory Racing teams put me on a bike that I'm now really comfortable with, and a platform that we can really work from. So I'm really happy with it.
Wheels?
All right, Zacho, you've said a few times that, you know, you're technically a rookie in the 450 class, but you don't really have time to be a rookie. It's time to go. What have you learned in the first 4 races, now 5 races, because you've been improving. What have you been learning and you know, taking away from the first 4 to today?
The biggest thing for me right now is, like I said, the first 3 laps. You know, it looks good on paper that I'm passing people at the end of the moto, but I'm only passing the people that passed me in the beginning. I've been getting really good starts and putting myself in good position, but losing 3, 4, 5 spots on the first 3 laps. So that's the biggest frustration I have right now, is allowing my good track position, you know, to go to waste, basically.
Okay. And Eli, us in the media, we like to talk about, you know, well, we're going east, it's going to be humid, and, you know, will guys like Eli or the guys on the West Coast be able to deal with the humidity? Does the humidity really affect you that much? I mean, you trained up at a higher elevation, I mean, you're in good shape. Does it make that much of a difference?
It used to, but now it really doesn't. I just try to come in as fresh as I can and deal with it. So I would say in the past, yeah, my first couple years in 250s, I struggled there mentally. So and probably physically too. But now it's like I push through and I'm better with it. So But either way, like today was hot. It's like after that 93, 94, it gets pretty gross.
This question is for Marvin. Marvin, you've had kind of a difficult season so far with like first turn crashes and kind of odd, goofy things happening. Congratulations on a great ride today. Do you feel this is really the true Marvin in 450 outdoors?
Like you said, it was not easy, and like I said earlier, I've been trying to try different setup on bike, and that didn't really work, and we actually went back to what I had last year, and I felt pretty comfortable, and that first moto was great. So I was, but I was out there, and I'm like, sometimes you leading, and then you win, and it's easier than getting third or fifth, the weekend before, and you're like, why it works like that sometimes. It's I was out there, and I was comfortable, I was floating, and that first moto was just, I don't want to say one of the easiest, but it worked out. Everything was clicking, and I just was good flow, and I won. So I was definitely back to my full potential, the good Marvin, out applying my technique, and man, I mean that track was awesome. Like I said on the podium, they did a great job, and that's real motocross right there. They built an awesome track. The dirt was great. It got rough. Many lines were developing. We were able to. So that's why it was great racing.
A quick question for Zach. Zach, I don't remember your teammates when you were in the 250 class, but you were kind of clearly the best guy on your team in that class. How's the environment now? It's interesting to me that you and Jason now are pretty close in battling together. Has it changed much?
No, we're both pretty open and lighthearted with each other. I feel like we don't have any issues, and we both make hard passes on each other, and we probably race each other harder than anyone else we race on the track, and we joke about it. So I'm sure that we'll have run-ins or something eventually, but for now it's good. I mean, we're on completely different setups, and we both enjoy the team and the atmosphere, and I think people would be surprised at kind of how funny and lighthearted it is in our truck. It's just a different atmosphere than most teams. So we keep it real.
Jason from RacerX. Zach, you're saying you're struggling the first 3 laps. Did it almost help you? Late in the second moto, you seem like you were charging harder than anyone else. So on a day like today, does it almost end up accidentally saving some energy just because you're not sprinting as much?
I don't know, man. Sometimes I think that, and then other times I'm like, those passes, your heart rate goes up probably, 10 or 15 beats when you're trying to pass someone, because that moment's so intense and such a fine line. You pass someone, and then you're like, like, holy crap, that was tough. So that, and then also it allows some gaps that you wouldn't allow, or that you feel like you could fill easier. So it put Eli, 10 or 12 seconds out in front of me at one point, and then I had to make that up. So it's I don't think it's favorable in any case. I sometimes try to tell myself that, but it's not true.
For Eli, did you have to manage that second moto maybe differently than you would a lot of motos? One, just because of the heat and the energy and the track and all that, did you have to take something off and just look at the gap?
A little bit. I was watching the guys, but midway we were all just riding a good pace. So I was just doing what I could. I wasn't like trying to break away. I mean, the first few I tried to go hard, but there was a little bit of management in there. But really, I was just doing my thing. Like these guys kept the pressure on, pretty gnarly the whole time. I actually didn't even know Zach was there in second in those last couple laps. So I got to pay more attention next time.
And my last one, Marvin, you re-signed with KTM. I don't think we've had you on the podium since then to ask about it. So just talk about extending with them. Was that the plan all along? Did you even look at other things? How'd that all go down?
So you mean I was not on the podium, so I didn't deserve it? Oh, no, I'm joking. I mean, it's great, to re-sign for 2 more years. It's important to have that in your pocket and knowing where you're going. And but yeah, at the same time, if you don't have the result, you're like, dang, you know, you. So that's why that one feels good, and I'm happy with the team. You know, the W guys that they were here down in Florida the whole week. You know, they work hard for me and my teammate and the Esky guys. So that's good to give him the win this weekend.
Gotta be with Vital MX. I'm curious for all three of you guys. Eli, you talked about lighting it up on the gate in the first moto. Are all you guys on sand tires or more traditional tires?
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone was on sand tires today, from what I could see.
Yeah, actually, when I watched the 250 on TV, I'm like, man, maybe we go back to the regular tire. But there's definitely some sections where it got a little harder, but the overall of the track was pretty soft, and that sand tire worked well, and you need it in the start. If everybody else has it, I don't think you can get a good start if you don't have it. So that was important.
We ride it at home all the time, so for me, there was no choice. We came here a couple weeks ago and did a test for the track and everything, and we rode it that whole day, and it was a lot drier than what we had, coming into today. So I knew that we would ride it all day. I feel like I'm pretty good at managing it when it's hard and using it when it's to my advantage. So for me, there was no choice but at the same time.
This one's for all three of you, I guess. We can kind of see it in your guys' eyes that you guys are just spent and tired. Without kind of being too vague or too generic, how are you guys actually feeling after a day like today?
I'm smoked and it's hot in this tent.
Yeah, I feel better right now, but the last few laps of the second moto, definitely I didn't have much energy, so it's and also like in between the two motos we don't have much time, and I don't know really why we have such a short time. I mean, I don't know if we can change that one day, but I remember back in GPs, we had
3 hours.
yeah, we had like 2 hours break, and I mean, it makes maybe more sense, you kind of regroup and you can like eat properly and regroup and warm up and get back at that. Right now, it's barely have time to lay down or like watch the 250 a little bit, and you have to adjust. So that's the tough part. It was pretty hot. I don't think it was as hot as yesterday. I mean, yesterday I was here and it was very, very hot. So definitely one of the hottest race this season, I think. So, but I'm glad it's over for sure.
Next question from the media. Gentlemen, congratulations on finishing on the podium. We look forward to seeing all of you next week in Southwick. Have a great week. Folks, thank you very much. We hope you travel up there as well. On behalf of the folks from the WW Ranch at the very first National ever, we appreciate all of you media coming out. We can't wait to see you at another round soon.